History is usually written by those in power. But what if I told you that in the Philippines, there are hidden stories of tribes who didn't just resist colonizers, they outsmarted them. When we think of colonization in the Philippines, the picture is often one of suffering, resistance, and eventual defeat. The Spanish, Americans, and Japanese left deep scars across the islands, but the truth is far more complex. Not every community bowed to foreign rule. One of the most fascinating examples comes from the Igorot people of the Cordillera Mountains in northern Luzon. The Spanish tried countless times to penetrate their territory. They wanted gold, they wanted land, and they wanted to Christianize the Igorots. And it wasn't just brute force. The Igorots were incredibly resourceful. They mastered the art of psychological warfare, spreading misinformation, misleading troops into dangerous areas, and making every invasion attempt costly and humiliating for the colonizers. Another remarkable story comes from the Mangyan people of Mindoro. Unlike the Igorots, the Mangyans chose a different path. Instead of direct battle, they used invisibility as their weapon. And then, there's the Blaan people of Mindanao. They perfected the use of camouflage and deception in warfare. When enemies advanced, Blaan warriors painted their bodies, blended into the environment, and struck suddenly with poisoned arrows. These stories show us something powerful. Colonization in the Philippines wasn't just a one-sided conquest, it was a battle of minds, strategies, and survival. Filipinos didn't only resist with swords and shields, they resisted with wit, endurance, and adaptability. Even today, many of these tribes still carry the legacies of their resistance. The Igorots continue to thrive in the Cordillera, proud of their unconquered heritage. The Mangyans still live in Mindoro, preserving their language and scripts that date back centuries. And the Blaans of Mindanao remain guardians of their ancestral lands, fighting new battles against modern threats like mining and deforestation. But here's the big question. Why aren't these stories widely told? Why do we often only hear about defeats instead of victories of resilience? Perhaps because they don't fit the narrative colonizers wanted to leave behind. A narrative that portrays Filipinos as weak, submissive, or helpless. But the truth is the exact opposite. Filipino tribes were among the smartest survivors in history. So the next time you think about colonization, remember this. Not every Filipino bowed their head, some stood tall, some outsmarted empires, and their stories still echo today if you're willing to listen.